This show is presented by 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment. All right, boxing fans, and now from the Clackamas Armory right here in Portland, Oregon, are you ready for some action-packed action?
Welcome to 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment's Fight Night 3 in Portland, Oregon. I'm Patrick Connor.
I'm Karen A. Tate.
And we're here for 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment's Fight Night 3. That's right, this is the third one, and tonight, Steve 2 Pound Forbes is making his comeback. 4 years out of the ring, that's the main event tonight, and Victor Morales Jr. also making his way in.
Yeah, we've got 5 great fights on the card tonight. We've got everything weight-wise from featherweight all the way up to super welterweight, and all the fights should be really exciting.
You know, we have a couple of 4-rounders to start us out here, but then, like I said, Steve 2 Pound Forbes in a 7-round main event, and then right before that, Victor Morales Jr. in an 8-rounder. We are going to have a lot of fun tonight here at the Clackamas Armory.
Yeah, we've got a lot of local talent and some standout amateurs making their pro debuts, and a couple of them just a couple fights into their pro careers, so it should be really great to see them develop tonight.
I agree, Karen. This is a very important night here for Portland and for the Pacific Northwest, and I can't wait till we get underway.
All right, boxing fans, we're ready for our second bout of the evening. This bout's scheduled for 4 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner, Somethonit Phoumychack.
A lot of these fighters that we see and concentrate on, the prospects, the contenders, a lot of the bigger names, these represent such a small percentage of the sport of boxing. These guys that are journeymen, these guys who have a lot of losses and are basically just fighting day in and day out.
And this fight should show us that.
You know, I'm sitting ringside, but I'm a little bit surprised that the Oregon Commission allowed him in there with that beard, Karen.
Yeah, that's a pretty lengthy beard.
All right, boxing fans, this bout's scheduled for 4 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. Introducing first, representing EFA and boxing out of the blue corner. He wears the blue trunks, trimmed in white. He holds a professional record of no wins with 5 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 145.9 pounds. Fighting out of Cottonwood, California, introducing Somethonit Phoumychack. And now introducing his opponent representing Real Boxing and boxing out of the red corner. He wears the red trunks, trimmed in white. He holds an undefeated professional record of 2 wins. Both of his wins came by way of knockout. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 145.6 pounds. Boxing out of North Las Vegas, Nevada, introducing Prince Daquan Wyatt. Your referee, Joel Scobie.
Referee instructions for Daquan Wyatt and Somthonit Phoumychack here. We're going to be underway with a 4-rounder in just a moment. These guys are going to come out swinging, but needless to say, look to see what Daquan Wyatt's capable of tonight.
You can see the body language right away. Daquan Wyatt is really loose, really comfortable. Really sharp jab established by Wyatt already.
You can see that Phoumychack is coming out looking like he's trying to surprise Daquan Wyatt with a quick little flurry there off the bat, but Daquan Wyatt getting his jab established and letting him know, no, that's not going to happen tonight.
He's trying to keep him on the outside there where he can control him a little bit easier. We'll see if he's able to keep that going.
This is another case, Karen, where with Phoumychack being unorthodox, being kind of strange with his movement and his footwork, that actually gives him in some ways a bit of an advantage, even though he just walked into a right hand there.
Yeah, but he also landed a nice 1-2 on Wyatt on the inside that I think surprised Wyatt a little bit. And I think to your point, it was because it came at an awkward angle and Wyatt didn't see it coming.
Well, I think that
Wyatt pushed him down there. I think a little bit of frustration coming out.
a little bit of a push down, and I think that when you get fighters who have a bit more amateur experience and have gone through the mechanics a lot more, I think that they also, something that does come with that is the expectation of what your opponent's going to do when you throw certain punches, and when they don't do that, it's almost like you don't know what to do. You throw a jab and they move a certain way, but sometimes a fighter is a certain level or a certain level of unorthodoxness or whatever you want to call it. They just don't move the same way, and that can be difficult.
Can be difficult, and it's good to face that, so early in his career. And I would go on to say fighters like Wyatt who are fighting a real unorthodox fighter like Nit the Brick, he should fall back on his fundamentals, which is mostly what he's doing so far. Is good footwork, good balance, use that jab and try to keep Phoumychack on the outside there, and he's doing a pretty good job of that for the most part. Now and then he gets inside, but I think he's kind of remembering his fundamentals here in the first round.
Phoumychack's actually been able to land a surprising amount of right hands from where he is, and I think that a lot of that's just because he's not moving his feet but just leaning forward, and it's just giving a strange impression of the distance, I think, to Daquan Wyatt. But nonetheless, Daquan Wyatt has obviously figured out that he can move a little bit better. There goes Nit the Brick's rear leg there a little bit as he loses his balance in the last 30 seconds.
His rear leg in particular is shaky here. I'm sure Wyatt saw that as well. Yeah, and I think to your point, Patrick, about the right hands, I think it's also because Wyatt tends to keep his left hand a little too low. I think if he raised that up a little bit to protect his head a bit more, we might see a bit less of that.
You know what they say, though? He's comfortable in there tonight and kind of getting a little loose, a little bit, playing hard and fast with the rules, as it were, is okay now, but best not to get into a habit of it. But that's the end of round one, and clearly taken by Daquan Wyatt. We're going to see a quick little replay of this trip to the canvas here. Yeah. Definitely a push down from Daquan Wyatt.
Good rule by the referee. It's not a knockdown.
It looks like Daquan Wyatt's actually getting a little bit of an earful from the referee between rounds. Not too bad. We've seen worse.
But yeah, good for the referee to kind of establish some boundaries here. These fighters are young, they're hungry, they're excited.
Nit the Brick Phoumychack, generally speaking, looks fairly comfortable in his corner. Maybe jittery still, but it is a professional fight. Daquan Wyatt, though, had his feet stretched out, looked nice and comfy. Round two underway. Nit the Brick reaching again with a right hand after Daquan Wyatt goes for a 1-2, and Daquan Wyatt kind of keeps him back with the lead right, pivots away. Looking again to establish his jab, but man, I'll tell you, it's tough with Nit the Brick just leaning into these weird kind of angles, and just the trajectory of his punches, the way that he comes in is strange.
Yeah, and I'm actually seeing Wyatt's having more success here with the lead right hand rather than necessarily a 1-2. He's kind of leading with the 2. And I think kind of like you would do against a southpaw, and I think to your point, Patrick, it kind of speaks to Nit the Brick's awkwardness. So Wyatt's in a way treating him a little bit like a southpaw, and he's landing nice hooks there and right hands as well. So he's abandoning the jab a little bit, but it's actually working for him.
I think that's a absolutely excellent point with that lead right hand there. It's the kind of thing that doesn't just work for a southpaw, although that's kind of how it's primarily thought of. But there goes Daquan Wyatt getting left-handed there and looking for a lead right hook, but then he goes right back to being orthodox. That's a dangerous thing, the old switcheroo there.
Yeah, I think it speaks to how comfortable he feels in there for sure. He felt like he could do that. But yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, nice to see a young fighter who can switch stances, though. I think that's a really great tool to have in your arsenal.
Oh, Knit the Brick just caught Daquan Wyatt with a right hand that had Daquan Wyatt kind of with his gum shield half out, and now Daquan Wyatt, again, smiling, coming forward. Perhaps that got to him a little bit, and now he's pressing forward to do something.
I think it made him a little angry. Woke him up a little bit, maybe.
Needless to say, you have to be careful in that situation, but if it's something that's going to motivate him to finish this fight quicker, then maybe he needs to just get popped a little bit to wake him up.
And then we have another little push there. I don't think it was intentional, but Knit the Brick's glove touched the canvas, and the referee wiped his glove and let the action continue.
Here come right hands raining in for Daquan Wyatt. Knit the Brick, his glove touches the canvas. That might not have been a hard knockdown, but
yeah,
nonetheless it counts.
Yeah, I think the ropes held him up there, and the referee correctly, in my opinion, ruled that a knockdown.
Well, that first stoppage in the action might have kind of saved him a bit, but referee rightly recognizes that Knit the Brick is done. After that knockdown there, he looked out to the crowd, shook his head, and I think that's about it for him. So Daquan Wyatt moves to 3-0 with this stoppage victory of Knit the Brick Phoumychack, who's going back to Cottonwood, California, 0-6. Replay of that stoppage there. There's a lead right hand, just like you said, Karen, from Daquan Wyatt, following up with left hooks, and finally Phoumychack decides he's got to go down. So you can see he kind of walks over to the ropes, shaking his head, looks at the crowd like, I don't have it.
Yeah, I think that was a very good stoppage by the referee. Yeah, I think the fighter himself knew it was the end, and you got to call it in that situation.
You know, to his credit, he didn't just pop right up and quit. He gave it a go, but sometimes it's just not your night. Just a moment here, we'll send it on up to ring announcer Garrett Fertig for the official result.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wabi. I didn't quite know exactly what we were doing, but hey, you know, we'll get it done.
All right, boxing fans, referee Joel Scobie has called the stop to this bout at 2 minutes, 45 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner by TKO, Prince Daquan Wyatt.
Couple publicity shots for Daquan Wyatt, but he's going to go on over and talk to our ring announcer, Garrett Fertig.
All right, I'm here with your winner, the Prince, Daquan Wyatt. It's a long trip from here to from Vegas to here, but you put it down in 2.5. Is this how you thought this fight was going to go?
Hey, man, I got the work in. I did what I was supposed to do, got him out. I want to thank everybody that came out and support. I love y'all. Let's go. Represent, let's go. That's it.
All right, your corner kept saying, hands up, walk him down. That's kind of what it looked like you were doing. Late in the second round, you went to the body. And I think probably because he was ducking down, hit that body. Was that what you wanted?
I wanted to go down to the body a lot earlier than that. I didn't do it. And that's the reason why I came with the second. But at the end of the day, we did what we were supposed to do. So, thank you for my team. I want to thank God, of course. Without him, none of this is possible. Thanks for my mom supporting, all my family, my team. Love y'all, for real.
All right, advancing.
Hey, R.P. Nipsey.
There you go. Advancing to his perfect record of 3-0. Once again, Prince Daquan Wyatt.
Now, Daquan Wyatt, Karen, not exactly from the Pacific Northwest. He's hailing from Las
All right, I
Vegas.
want to let everybody know
this
there's
is a
50-50 raffle
this,
tickets floating around. Make sure
pretty
you get
big
your 50-50 tickets.
event nonetheless
This
for the
crowd
Pacific
looks big.
Northwest, and Daquan Wyatt contributing to it greatly with this 3-0 win here against Somthonit Phoumychack.
Definitely, and I think, Phoumychack, obviously, like you said, he's clearly was, kind of the fighter that was going to be beat tonight if everything went to plan. But you never know, and he's a really tough guy. He came here to win and to fight as best he could, and he should be applauded for that. Great win for Wyatt. He showed some really good fundamentals in there, and when things got a little confusing, he fell back on those fundamentals.
This show is presented by 2 Pound Sports and Entertainment.